I'm Joy Morris, inviting you to listen to True Stories of the Wild West, hosted by C.R. King, a production of RK Enterprises.
Hi, everyone. C.R. King here, and we have a new podcast for you. This one is about Emma Summers. Born in 1858 in Kentucky. Her father, a successful banker, taught her by observation and discussion the sense of business, entrepreneurship. And she grew up thirsty for success. She was degreed from the New England Conservatory of Music, married, and she and her husband moved to Los Angeles, to a little house near Fort Moore, downtown LA. She set up shop as a piano teacher and became successful. She started with one piano. Enrollment increased. She purchased another one until it totaled 7. House was too small. So they bought a bigger house nearby. Her husband, Alpha C. Summers, was a carpenter. Now, in 1882, Edward Doheny discovered oil. Emma was captivated. She studied it. She invested in it. She took her $700 profit from her business, and she bought land and began to dig the first oil well. It was near Doheny's first oil well, and she hit a gusher. Doheny didn't have a gusher. He found oil, but she hit the big time. It was written in the papers that she had a genius for affairs. For by 1900, she owned or controlled roughly half of the oil fields of Los Angeles. Her husband did not like the oil business. He was a carpenter. They did not get along over it, and they were divorced. She would never remarry. He would have a new family, children. She never had children. She was treated like a queen. She was called the California Oil Queen all over the papers. And they treated her as such. They respected her. And she was a true pioneer in the petroleum industry. A tough woman. But the world was dominated by men. She may have been treated with respect, yet many disliked her. They didn't want her around. They wanted her business. Let me give you an example of her business. According to the San Francisco California Call, the newspaper, October 6, 1907, she signed a contract with the Fullerton Consolidated Oil Company. A large percentage of their oil output, around 50,000 barrels per month, would be delivered to her for the next 10 years at 50 cents a barrel. She would sell that oil at 85 cents a barrel. But she had companies in her pocket, investors such as the Los Angeles Gas and Electric Company, to name many. Her take would be $550,000 a year for the next 10 years. Not bad. A very wise lady. So getting back to Emma, intelligent and what have you. Oh, there's another guy came to town. The executive vice president of the Standard Oil Company. Brought in, take over, and to get into the oil business by his boss, John D. Rockefeller. He tried. He couldn't do it. He left. Went back up to San Francisco. He would come back down and find oil in Kern County. Well, this lady has the oil business died down in 1915, walked away from it. She wasn't seen that much anymore in the papers. A lot of lawsuits. She even fought the railroad system. She passed away in 1941. Her body sent back to Kentucky, where she's buried. She's today just a footnote in the petroleum business. She's anything but a footnote. She was the queen of oil. She was extremely important and powerful. Just to let you know, her mansion was on Wilshire Boulevard. And the Wilshire Bullock store, the beautiful Art Deco store, is where her mansion once stood. Okay, everyone. There'll be more next week. I hope you liked it. I plan to make this woman famous, and this is the start. There's a lot more details, so stay tuned. And thank you for your time. Until next week, C.R. King signing off. Thank you.
Stay tuned for next week's tale.